Hey there, card folk. Speedrobo here. Today we're going to be showing you how to play Card Battle Spirit Link, a tactical digital card game created by yours truly. Let's dive right in and take a look at the Spellbook Builder. In the Spellbook Builder, you have the option of creating your very own spellbook. Instead of traditional decks that are shuffled at the start of each game, Card Battle Spirit Link uses a spellbook system. This means that every card you place in your deck will stay in that position. You will draw the exact same cards at the exact same time in every game, making the games less about luck and more about skill and careful deck building strategies. If you're just beginning to play the game, I recommend loading the Sample Books list. This will give you a great selection of starter decks to try out and help you get used to the game's unique mechanics. We're going to be taking a look at the Grant Spellbook to get you acquainted with the book builder. As you can see, every spellbook must start with a leader card. A leader card is a special card type that you may only have one of in your spellbook and begins the game in play. Your leader card determines what nation, determined by the color of the card border, you may play in your spellbook. Grant is a member of the Citadel, the blue nation, therefore you may only use Citadel or blue cards in your spellbook. Moving on to the next two card types, we have units and spells. Units and spells will make up the bulk of your spellbook and the core of your strategies. Each nation has different strengths and weaknesses, and the Citadel typically has powerful units with useful abilities, while the Citadel is burdened with slightly weaker spells. Both units and spells have a cost, image, skill text, and attribute. Units have something that spells don't: stats. We'll get more into that in a second. Cost is how much energy must be paid in order to play the unit, or spell. The skill text is what the card does. Units will stay on the board and spells will immediately be discarded. The attribute is simply the attribute of the card. It has no direct gameplay benefit, but many effects will require a specific attribute to be targeted or to be on the field in order to resolve. The unit stats are as follows: attack, defense, critical. The attack is how much damage the unit does to other units in combat. The defense is how much damage the unit can sustain before it is destroyed and sent to the drop. The critical is how much damage the unit deals to enemy leaders in combat. Remember, attack is for units, critical is for leaders. Each spellbook contains 32 cards, including the leader card. As I said earlier, each card will be drawn in order every game. There is no randomization. At the start of each turn, the turn player will gain 2 energy and turn a page. This effectively means they will draw the next 2 cards of their spellbook and discard any other cards in their hand. In Card Battle Spirit Link, you either use your cards or lose your cards, so be very careful when building your spellbook. That's all to really see in the Spellbook Builder for now. Remember, load the sample books when beginning and try them out, see which one interests you the most. Let's jump right into a game. I'll be using the Sir Georgina sample book against the AI playing Greenbeard's sample book. Sir Georgina is a new leader card recently added to Card Battle Spirit Link in Mini Expansion 1. Here we are at the start of the game. Looks like we will be going first. This means we start with 20 life points on our leader, and the opponent starts with 23. In our hand we have 2 unit cards. We also have 2 energy to spend, because at the start of each turn we gain 2 energy. Our unit here has an Enter Front ability that allows us to draw the next 2 swordsmen, so playing him to our front row will activate that effect. We draw the next 2 swordsmen and add them to our hand. Swordsman also has an enter front ability. This means its ability will only trigger if it is played to the front row. So we're going to play Swordsman to the back row, and as you can see, its ability does not trigger. KBF Airship, however, does not have an enter front ability. It has a start ability. Its start ability is not restricted to being used only in the front row. So if we play it into the back row, its ability will trigger. We're going to end our turn now and see that our opponent plays out his turn. Our turn again. Instead of drawing 2 pages, this time we drew 3. This is thanks to KBF Airship's start ability, giving us an extra KBF card in our hand. Now, as you can see, we have Paige and Francis. Paige's use ability destroys herself. A use ability may be used at any point during your turn by double-clicking on the card. Paige's death ability gives a random KBF unit in your front row +1 attack. A death ability is triggered when the unit is destroyed. We can play Paige now. However, her use ability would not be helpful to us as we don't have a KBF unit on our field. Sir Francis, however, does have the KBF attribute. This means if we play her first and then play Paige, we can use Paige's use ability to its fullest extent. Let's do that. As you can see, Sir Francis's attack has increased and triggered Sir Francis's ability. When Sir Francis's attack increases, our energy increases by 1. Let's go ahead and use our units to attack, then end the turn. On our next turn, once again, we have 3 pages, thanks to our KBF Airship. Let's see what we can do with these units. We have another Squire Page in our open pages. Let's go ahead and play her and use her usability. When we do, this once again triggers Sir Francis, giving us an extra energy. Let's play our next 2 units. Then we'll use our leader power. As you can see, our leader has a usability of her own. By double-clicking on her, it triggers her leader power to give a soldier in our front row +2 attack, and a soldier in our front row +2 defense. Now let's use our units to attack. It's our turn again, and we have multiple units to use. Marching Drummer Linwell has an enter front ability that gives our units +1 attack and +1 defense. By playing her now, it will trigger both of our Sir Francis's abilities, giving us extra energy. We will then use our units to attack and end the turn. As you can see, when we attack the opponent's leader, their life decreases. When their life hits 0, we win the game. On our next turn, we have a spell card to play. This spell card, Bolster Morale, will give our units +1/+1. Huh, that's interesting. Sir Francis's attack increased twice this turn, but we didn't get energy twice. Why's that? Well, as you can see, Sir Francis's ability has the once per turn keyword, which means it will only trigger once per turn. We don't have enough energy to play the rest of the cards in our open pages. That's fine, we'll just end our turn. Hey, where did those cards in our open pages go? Well, if you don't use them, they are turned away, which means they are removed from the game. In Card Battle Spirit Link, you either use your pages or lose your pages. Let's play our units. Huh, that unit wouldn't enter our front row. Well, that's because there's already 6 units in our front row. That's alright though, we can play her to the back row. The only downside to this is that units in the back row cannot attack or be attacked. However, they can still use any of their abilities that might trigger. This includes use abilities. Alright, let's finish the game. We've got easily enough critical on board to wrap this up. Let's attack the enemy leader with Merchant Marines. Merchant Marine's own ability destroys herself and gives us 2 energy. We'll play 2 more cards and boost our stats for safety, then attack with our final units and win the game. Hopefully now you have a pretty good idea on how to play and enjoy Card Battle Spirit Link. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to go through our tutorials and help menu when playing the game. I'll see you on Planet Ceres.